How to choose your workstation micro components for extreme SolidWorks performance? When it comes to your upcoming PC upgrade or purchase, we want to help you make the best selection possible. In this video, we'll uncover the 4 main components: storage, RAM, graphic cards, and CPU that have the most effects on SolidWorks performance. Storage device. An NVMe drive might be 10 times quicker than a typical SSD disk, depending on the model. Because SolidWorks files are so tiny, when SSDs were launched, the storage device was no longer a speed bottleneck. We advise using an NVMe drive as your main drive if you are buying a new desktop. As a result of the NVMe's incredible speed, Windows and other apps will load considerably more quickly. If you're updating an older computer, check the owner's handbook to determine if your motherboard has a place for an NVMe drive in the M2 connector. If it doesn't, it's strongly advised to switch out an old HDD for an SSD. Graphics card. The performance of video cards is one of the most difficult things to quantify and comprehend. Frame per second is the primary emphasis of the video game industry, FPS. FPS can be used as a metric since SolidWorks is a commercial CAD. However, it often does not improve a designer's quality of life. Users become more productive when mouse instructions are responsive, adding components into assemblies is stable, and drawing views are created. This entails investing in a computer with an exclusive professional graphics card. Nvidia. For professional cards, we advise sticking with at least a 2000 level model of Nvidia Quadro model based on their current product lineup. Since their drivers are not designed for 3D CAD, SolidWorks does not typically certify the GeForce family of graphics cards. We suggest these models. RAM. SolidWorks is CAD software that runs in RAM. This implies that the random access memory is loaded with each file you access. When a file is saved, it is edited while still in RAM and then written back to a storage device. To keep your system from consuming swap space, you need adequate RAM. When RAM is insufficient, the system will use the Windows virtual memory, commonly known as swap space, where it will keep data and perform computations before saving them to the local disk. The performance of SolidWorks will rapidly deteriorate if the SOLIDWORKS file uses swap space. The majority of SolidWorks users find 32 gigabytes of RAM to be more than plenty. Consider 64 gigabytes of RAM if your designs typically contain more than 5,000 distinct components. CPU. When it comes to purchasing a computer, the central processing unit, CPU, is the most crucial factor to consider. The majority of SolidWorks instructions that the CPU calculates are serial. Because of this, it is challenging to utilize CPUs with more processor cores. SolidWorks will currently use 4 cores. Other operations, such as SolidWorks Simulation, SolidWorks Flow, and SolidWorks Plastic, will utilize all of the CPU's cores. There are typically 2 operating speeds for CPUs that you should be aware of. First is the base clock speed, which represents the normal pace at which a process would operate with little load. The second option is boost speed, which is typically the fastest speed a CPU can operate at. More power is applied to the cores, increasing their potential speed to speed up the CPU. The rules of physics dictate that when power or energy is given to a system, temperatures will rise. Due to a phenomenon known as thermal throttling, this temperature rise may make it difficult for laptop CPUs to continue operating at their full possible speed. The majority of high-performance computers are desktop models because they have stronger cooling systems and can operate at faster speeds for longer periods. The 2 market leaders for desktop CPUs are AMD and Intel. Each provider has some advantages. AMD has been concentrating on a CPU unit with a higher core count, whereas Intel has been largely focused on faster clock speeds. An overview of things to look for. We advise the following parameters with the maximum boost speed you can afford if you are simply using SolidWorks CAD. If you have a large amount of work to do, we strongly advise the specs listed below. Our custom options help you find the finest workstation for your demands and within your budget. Please visit our website www.holoware.co for your custom workstation requirements.